Hi there. This is a quick heads-up video about Benioff and Weiss's three-body problem. And I want to start 10 seconds into this. The entire point is Game of Thrones didn't get bad once they ran out of books or source material, so it wasn't really their fault. What do you think book fandom was yelling about back in Season 5 with the invented Sansa rape, TV Dorne butchering Stannis, and a bunch of other things that were all connected? People just didn't want to see that. And I had hoped that after the failure of Season 8, it just wasn't your turn yet to ruin your personal favorite character. That once they ruined your character in Season 6 or 7 or 8, particularly 8, people didn't know how to mentally process it. There was no analytic journalism. So they just went, it was the ending. It wasn't the ending, it was the entire second half. And it's mind-boggling, so I guess that's why people don't accept it, that yes, they voluntarily abandoned the books. That it was getting weird long before they ran out of source material. These are not related. And I just want to keep this really short clip here without any other imagery, because when I was talking about back on Tuesday, there's going to be this big three-body panel on Wednesday where they announced their new show for Netflix. It's going to be the return of Benioff and Weiss. When I made a video about that, people in the comments, even though I said these things, that it wasn't just the ending, they didn't run out of books, would say in the comments, ignoring the video, well, it might be good because they only got bad when they ran out of books, and it's, you didn't watch the video. Let me make this clear, it's not that they disagreed with me, that, they were able to handle things well when they ran. It is objective fact that they willfully abandoned the books long before they ran out of them. And I'm not seeing people arguing with me about that. They're ignoring me and continuing to repeat that because they're in denial. That if you want to argue against that, fine. These were major changes from the books long before they ran out. And that's not even getting into a bit more harder to prove stuff that, the failed pilot was a warning that they were never good at these things, and a lot of the first 4 seasons was largely them as figureheads, and then they just stopped listening to their advisors halfway through who were really propping them up. That is harder to prove. I'm just saying, focusing on Season 5, they had book plot lines they abandoned. That's why we're angry about them. All the other stuff that they didn't get to character by character, it isn't about that. So this is an introduction video, though, that I want to make one quick thing, hammering that again with the Star Wars meme that, they ran out of books, and I'm seeing websites like, for example, one of many, Ars Technica, said the same thing, and it would be so weird to have this as an in-person conversation. Do you really think they ran out of books when it got bad? What was Season 5? A lot of people like those seasons, because they were empty spectacle, and okay so long as, having Jon Snow have another empty action scene again was good enough, or Daenerys was presentable, but all the other stuff, that these are all interrelated, you can't compartmentalize them. I am making a video series about the extensive interviews they gave at the Three Body Problem event on Wednesday, and rather than make one big hour-long video, I've decided to bust it up into 7 videos by topic. There's one on Game of Thrones, one on Confederate, one on Star Wars, 4 on Three Body Problem itself. But just because I ran into this problem with the first video that was an hour-and-a-half podcast, and I said this is all the stuff we can look forward to from the return of Benioff and Weiss, and then you could tell people... I checked, in the first 2 minutes of the other video I said, they didn't run out of books. What are you talking about? And there's still people in the comments repeating that. I'm like, that isn't true. That isn't even an opinion or something I think. That is objectively they didn't. They were major controversies long before they ran out, specifically because they were abandoning them. And it's in one ear and out the other. And I realize to make each point stick, because they are important points, I'm going to have to split this up into a video series. 7 not counting this one. This is the introduction. That, I didn't want to just have one big one on the Three Body Problem stuff. There's really 4 separate things with that. How they're writing it, how they're producing it, a couple of different issues. It made more sense to split it up by topic. So the comments, I want to see the comments and foster discussion, and I'm making these as to get try to alert Three Body Problem fandom of what's going on. I haven't seen other channels like going over that interview yet, which was pretty extensive that they did Wednesday. All I've seen is that what we turn into? All I've seen are people making cold reactions to the trailer, and in some cases picking apart how this correlates to the books, but in some cases good. I really liked the Road to Tar Valon had a pretty good breakdown of that, but they said they would do more than that. They just haven't gotten to them yet. Other things like mainstream news things haven't reported on what they said in this public interview whatsoever. Or maybe a blurb or two about, oh, this is what their Star Wars idea was, they never told us before. Otherwise, there haven't been real breakdowns of this. Obviously, Quinn's Ideas is going to be covering this extensively. I've watched all of his content about Three Body Problem the past 2 years, maybe read the book. I'm trying to watch the Chinese Tencent version of it. It's on PBS now. But you need to do that. You need to look at what they're saying in interviews, cross-referenced. And too often what YouTube does is you just go, well, of course they ran out of books. Did you just watch the show cold without reading any interviews or analysis essays going, why are they abandoning the books? Did journalism really fall that much? I don't know. So this is just the introduction. I am going to be making a series of videos breaking this up by topic because I realize it's easier on you guys and makes each separate point, which is deserving of attention, more focused on. So please follow me after the jump.